That's what we do, Belladonna. And guys, Belladonna became one of the world's first AI certified agents, guys. And Belladonna's not your normal agent. Belladonna's been a real estate broker for 18 years of experience under her belt, man. And I'll tell you what, she's seen every kind of market boom to bust. Belladonna currently leads a group of 77 agents, and together they're committed to delivering top-notch services. And I'll tell you what, Belladonna's got energy just like mine. And I'll tell you what, she's just fun to be around. Belladonna, did I miss anything on this introduction here?
No, except it's a bummer you can't see it, and I can't flip my camera around, but I have a gorgeous blue samurai sword right there.
Man, the samurai warrior spirits. I love it. I love it. Well, Belladonna, let me ask you this. From someone who's seen a lot of the different ups and downs in the industries and what it's come, how do you see AI affecting the real estate industry?
So, it's funny that you asked, because I was having this conversation with an agent this morning via Messenger who reached out to me because he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he asked me, "Where do you think AI fits in?" And I should pull up a screenshot of this conversation with him, right? And I said, "Devin, it is going to change real estate." I said, "I think more than the internet did." More than the internet, because the internet
strong statement
changed how we access information.
Yeah.
But AI is something else, man.
AI is information itself.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think in as little as a year, and here's, for what it's worth, it's my prediction. I think it's going to go so astonishingly fast that people literally, it's like a runaway horse right now. I'm like, you better get your ass on there and hang on.
Right. Dude, seriously. And like what we like to say is it's like walking out into the desert right now with AI. It's like you want to have the right tools, the right people, the right support. Because if you try and just run out into the desert without any of that, man, you're going to either have to turn back or you're going to drop in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you better get on it now. And that's what we're telling people too. I'm with you. I think it's going to be bigger than the internet and bigger than social media.
Me too.
Why? Because it already has those things to build off of.
Yep.
Right. So what are some of the ways that you were diving into it before this?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. What was your mindset going into this? Because Belladonna got to spend an entire week with myself and my staff to really get ahead of the curve. So what was kind of your mindset going into it?
Oh, I was so stoked. So stoked because I had already started using AI. I started using ChatGPT.
Right.
And I was playing around with other platforms. I subscribed to 2 AI newsletters that constantly tell me, like, what are the new systems coming out, right?
Right.
But one, I didn't even know that you could program ChatGPT.
Right.
I had no clue. So I was just, every time I used it, I was just winging it.
Right.
And I didn't have a strategy for how to use it. I certainly didn't have a broad understanding. And to tell you the truth, I feel like I had a little sip.
Right.
And I've got a foundation of understanding that I can really build from. But I was one of those agents that the minute I heard about it, I was like, how can we use this? Like, this is going to be huge. We better get on it. Yeah. And so then when your course came around, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm taking that. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Because frankly, I didn't have the time to figure it all out. It's too much, It
is. And I feel like, especially with all the ads and things we're seeing out there, it's like a giant puzzle. And everyone gives you a little piece here, a little piece here, a little piece here. But then how do you apply it to real estate? What do I do? What's the systems for it? Yeah. So let me ask you this. You've been out of the course for about a week now, right? Not even a week.
Not even a week.
Not even a week. What are some of the ways that you're already implementing what you learned?
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. One, I rounded up a bunch of my agents, and the ones that didn't show up, I'm like, shame on you, bitches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I taught them how to set up their ICA, their ideal client avatar, which none of them even had up until this point. They were so stunned by what they were able to do. And then, we just went through some of the exercises to help them build unlimited social media on every platform and blogs and emails. And the content was so relevant. They were stunned. Right. So I'm the first thing that I'm doing is just kind of a conduit to help the agents that I work with, right? So I can get them up to speed as quickly as possible. Yeah. But here's a good example. I've got for what's for us is a really big event coming up, local event on the 25th.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get 200 to 300 agents in a room. It's a mastermind workshop that we're doing on seller finance.
Yeah.
Well, I needed to write 20 emails and 20 emails, and nobody that's never had to write marketing emails knows the pain, right?
Dude, it's so much.
Oh, they're so hard to write.
Because even when you write one good one, now it's like, crap, now I got to write 19 more. Like, how do I make it sound different, exposed to different audiences, different emotions?
All that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, it usually takes me 2 weeks to write all those suckers, right?
Yeah.
So what I did was I created a new ideal client avatar.
Yep.
So the first thing I did was screw it.
Yes.
I'm just going to program ChatGPT for that person. And then I said, okay, here's a description of the kind of event I'm doing. And here's my speakers, and here's what they're going to cover. Okay, take all that, combine it with the hopes, dreams, fears, wants of the avatar that we just created.
Yeah.
Write me my emails. And my God.
Boom. Like that.
Oh, and then you want to know what I did to cheat?
What did you do to cheat?
I said, write me emails in a combination of 2 styles. Ooh. So I put in all the stuff that needed content, and then I said, now make them edgy.
Yep.
Add intrigue and write them in the style of Frank Kearns and Russell Brunson.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yes. And it just goes and spits them out.
Oh my God. And they were like gold. Oh, and I was like, oh, and put emojis in there.
Yeah.
And it just came up with these the brilliant emails that frankly I'm not capable of writing. I'm a okay copywriter.
Or the desire even.
Oh God. And that, like, the hours, the pots of coffee, the brain damage of having to do it. And frankly, they wouldn't have been as good.
And you know, I think that's something just really interesting. What most people don't know is that you actually have to train your train your ChatGPT.
That's the part I was totally clueless about. I didn't even know you could do it. I had it right. Landing page copy too, and it came up with some really freaking good headlines. Yeah. I'm like, give me the bullet points.
So here's something that's really interesting too, because most people don't even have an ideal client profile. No, some people have the name of their client. They're like, oh yeah, I work with new home buyers. Talk to me about the process of actually going through and getting the motivations. What will happen if they don't move? The internal dialogue. Talk to me about some of the things that maybe you even learned in just going through that process.
So that was amazing. And it's really fresh because I just had this conversation in depth with about a dozen of my agents yesterday. And that is, none of them had an ideal client profile or avatar. And the reason is, one, they're living hand to mouth. Most agents, right? Or even if you're doing good shit, you start over at 0 every day. Don't play with me. I know, right? I've been doing this too long. Yeah. You work with whoever you can. Okay. So, So here's your idea. The average agents, I'm just going to be my sarcastic self.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hey, here's the average agent's ideal club profile. They have a pulse.
Yep.
They can plug a mirror. And they can qualify for a damn house, or they need to sell a house. Golden.
That's it. Done. I'm your agent. Yeah.
Okay. And we do that because we don't know how to find. We don't even think it's possible as agents to say, well, I just want to work with this group. And the reason is, well, you're like, well, yeah, and I want a red Ferrari, but I'm driving a black Volvo. You're like, how am I supposed to find them? Like, even if I took the time to define who I wanted, how the hell am I going to find them, reach them, speak to them without spending a freaking fortune? And even if you had the money to burn, how do you get in front of them? You can't. Like, how do you write the copy that's going to resonate with them?
Dude, and even thinking about this, Belladonna, you worked with, I'm going to take a wild guess and see, you worked with marketing companies before.
Yes, I actually started a marketing company called Blue Triangle Marketing at one point.
How many of those ones that you didn't start actually went that in depth on your ICP to create an exact copy that you needed? It was, you're looking for buyers. Here's copy and paste that 7,000 other agents are using right now.
Yes. So the first thing every agent in my group had to do was pick, like, if you could, who would you work with? And then everybody picked. Yeah. And then I'm like, and you got to pick, because you can't do this next exercise until you know.
Yeah, you can.
And it was for some, it's not rocket science. For some, it was veterans. For some, it was first-time owners. For some, it was luxury mountain home, right? Because he lives.
I love that target audience. Yeah.
Right. Like, how targeted is that?
Yeah.
For one, it's ranch, horse and large animal property and ranches. Very specific, very, very unique, right?
Yeah.
And then so we had the whole gamut. And when they went through and did the targeted process that you taught, right, in the CREM AI course,
Yeah.
they were halfway through. They were blown away.
Yeah.
They were like, it's perfect. It's spot on. And they never could have come up with it by themselves.
And it's just like, man, I can't tell you the amount of time that my brother and I would spend on the back end trying to figure out people's ideal client profiles, the internal dialogue. I was kind of pissed when I figured out ChatGPT can do it in seconds. But then I got excited because I'm like, man, every agent needs this, because it's not the best agent who wins, it's the best marketer.
Oh yeah.
And before, only the biggest, like almost the biggest names in real estate could actually pay someone, because it's not even just paying a marketing company, because a lot of marketing companies don't even know this stuff.
No,
don't even know how to apply
real estate. They're marketing companies.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh yeah, real estate. Here's a basic ad, and it's like it doesn't speak to people emotionally. So let me ask you this: we went over the little ideal client profile. Talk to me about what you learned for the AI listing advantage.
Oh, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked.
Can I just? Yeah, go ahead.
I cannot wait to go on a listing appointment where I can just. Okay. Am I going to say this? Yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be like, pardon me while I whip this out.
Literally, their eyes will go like
Blazing Saddles fan. So you just open your laptop and you go, folks, okay, so, I don't know. I'm winging it here. Would you agree that the more marketing and the more specific marketing and quite frankly, the best marketing is going to be the most exposure that you can get is going to have a direct correlation to the amount of money that your home sells for and the time in which it takes it to sell?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? More exposure to the perfect market.
Yeah. We'll get you in front of more people.
And the right people.
And the right people.
And that comes down to having world-class marketing done at scale. And here's the problem. It's normally prohibitively expensive. Yeah. Agents don't do it. Marketing companies don't even do it. And if they do even a modicum of it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about targeted emails to buyers in the marketplace, social media ads, blog posts, right? Everything, videos, you name it. How long does it take them to create that content? If they even do a tenth of it. Yeah. Let me show you. Okay.
I can do it right here at your dinner table.
Okay. Bam, take a look at that. And it just go.
Yeah. And they're sitting there. And that's where, guys, telling people something is one thing. Showing them is something completely different.
Yes.
And that's what we talk about in this course. We're not just going to help you market, get leads, provide you coaching. We're going to help you close deals using AI. Yeah. Literally right now, 20 for 20 people who did the AI listing advantage walked out with a contract in their hands.
Well, and talk about a differentiator, right? And so it's now become it is my main, it's the first and last thing that I talk about, right? Yeah. That this is what's going to make the difference. Yeah. For your listing selling quickly and for top price. Yep. Right. For who do you want to work with? Do you want to work with somebody that's doing something that's 10 years old? Hell, if it's 6 months old, it's too old.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Seriously. Even now, 6 days sometimes in AI world. Yeah. But all right, Belladonna, I could talk to you about AI for hours, but I want to wrap it up with this question for you. What does it mean to you to be one of the world's first AI certified agents?
Oh, baby, that is something that makes you stand out in the marketplace that nobody can touch. Right. And so I am going to be leveraging that so heavily, but I'm also kind of proud of it too, because I've met a lot of agents. I was stunned yesterday. Out of 12 people in a room, half of them who were young enough that they should have known. I mean, young, like under 30. Yeah. And they're like, what's AI? And I'm like, artificial intelligence? Yeah. AI? I'm like, that's what happens when you grow up and you don't watch Terminator. Okay?
Yeah.
And so I was really surprised at how many agents, even in a demographic that we would expect them to be knowledgeable, had no clue. And so when you're out there in the marketplace and I'll sum it up in this. When you're well-trained and comfortable and confident with this technology and you're leveraging it in your business, you do have an unfair advantage in the marketplace.
So guys, if you guys are in Belladonna's marketplace and you want to work with an agent who has the top-notch marketing, the best marketing, sell your home for top dollar at a fast rate, make sure you reach out to Belladonna. She is one of the first AI certified agents in the world. And if you're an agent in her marketplace and want to learn more about it, learn what some of the things she was talking about, creating your ideal client avatar, getting the AI listing advantage, make sure you reach out to her, because there are very few people in the world who went through this certification and spend an entire week with myself and my staff to learn everything she can do to make sure she spends less time behind a computer and more time with her clients and with agents. Belladonna, thank you so much for coming on. And
Rick,
again, guys,
one
of the first AI certified agents in the world, Belladonna. What's going on?